Okay, here we have a word problem. Mrs. Suzuki invested $29,000 in two accounts. That actually gives us our first piece of information. So we have, I'll let X be the amount in the first account, and let Y be the amount in the second account. And we know if we were to add those two amounts together, X plus Y, then we would have $29,000. Okay, so that's our first equation. One yielding 7%. Well, 7% is 0.07, and then times X. That'd be how much interest from the first account. And the other yielding 8%. So that'd be plus 0.08. And it says she receives a total of $21.50 in interest. Oh, this is Y. Then this is going to equal $21.50. So we have our two equations, or two unknowns. We can go ahead and solve this. So with these, you want to go ahead and do substitution. I'll go ahead and solve this one for X. So X is going to equal 29,000 minus Y. Okay, so here I have 0.07, and instead of putting X, I'm going to have to make that bigger. Instead of making that X, I'm going to put in 29,000 minus Y, and then plus my 0.08. Oh gosh, that's a 0.08 Y equals 21.50. Okay, now you got to distribute this 0.07, and if you do the math, 7% 29,000 is actually 2,030. Okay, and then minus 0.07 Y, so this plus 0.08 Y. Oh boy, plus 0.08 Y equals 21.50. Okay. So if we add our Y's together, we're actually going to get 0.01 Y. And if we subtract 20/30 from both sides, we're going to end up with 120. All right, now if I divide both sides by 0.01, I'm going to get the amount vested in account Y is $12,000. Okay, but we already have X's in terms of Y, so 29,000 minus 12,000 tells us that in the X account we're going to have 17,000. Okay, and again you can check those using the other equation. All right, this last problem, which is usually by far the hardest type of problems, we want to see if we can use two equations to get rid of one of the variables, and then kind of work from there. So right off the bat, I see if we add, let's call this equation 1, equation 2, and equation 3. So I start to look here, I have a plus C minus C plus C. So I can see if I add these two together, the Z's will drop out. Also, the Y's will drop out. So it's actually kind of good because they don't have X in terms of something. Okay. Also note here, if I add these two equations, the Z will drop out, and then I'll have equations in terms of X and Y. So I think what we'll do is, first thing we'll do is add equation 2 plus equation 3, okay? And that's going to give us this equation here that we get 3x equals negative 12, okay? Which is also then going to tell us that x equals negative 4, right? So you divide both sides by 3. All right, so I've already got one of my variables now, so that's good news. Now let's see, if I add equations 1 and 2 together, I'm going to get 3x plus 2y is going to equal 0. Well, look, I already have a value for x, so I can go ahead and substitute that in here. So 3 times negative 4 plus 2y equals 0. Okay. Or negative 12 plus 2y equals 0. Or 2y equals 12. Divide both sides by 2 to get y equals 6. Now I have 2 of my variables. Well, this makes it very easy, right? So if I pick any of these equations, like equation 3, for example, I can substitute in my x and my y and solve for z. So here I have x minus y, so I have negative 4 minus y is 6 plus z equals negative 7. So negative 4 minus 6 is obviously negative 10 plus z equals negative 7. And if I add 10 to both sides, I get z equals 3. Okay, so here I have a system for all 3 equations, which would be negative 4, 6, 3. All right, hope you found these videos helpful. Let me know if you'd like to see some